McMorty and Rod Zawacki. It is Sunday, August 7th, 2022, and of course, we're going to go through today's card. Starting next week, we'll be returning to our other format, which is kind of like one guy at a time, kind of gets their chance, kind of, I give them the screen, the stage, the whole thing, kind of like the drive-through style, but just a little bit more. They get a little bit more time and a little bit more whatever. They can do 2 games if they want. Doesn't matter to me. It's just going to be easier because on a college football Saturday with hundreds of games and then it's college can you imagine a college basketball Saturday going through the schedule like this with 6-8 guys? It's like
4 hours.
And
4 hours
plus
later.
more cappers joining us, more people that want to be on the show, and everything like that in football season. So kind of the way it will be going forward, but not a big deal. Nothing you guys haven't seen before. But Chris, how's it going today? Your Blue Jays, I don't know what the hell they did yesterday. This team is looking super inconsistent still. Even though they lead the American League wild card, we've seen like these flashes where they look unbeatable, and then yesterday where they just, they could have played 100 more innings. I don't think they would have closed the gap against the Twins. I think it would have been a lot bigger.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. But like I said, it was the first losing streak now that they've had under John Schneider in almost a 20-game set. So, I think they're 14-5 in those 19 games. So they're playing pretty well. Now it's just a matter of, like you said, building up some consistency. We'll have to see how that goes over the next few weeks and how this young team does going into that stretch run in September. But I'm still somewhat hopeful for them going forward.
Ron Romanelli back in the fold. Ron, 6.1 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 Ks, and the loss. We're in straight regression mode here for the All-Star Game starter, Shane McClanahan. Any explanation here as to the outright collapse of McClanahan after starting the All-Star Game?
Yeah, I love that I mentioned that I supported him being the starter in that All-Star game, and now I'm going to be his PR department for the rest of the year. But
well, all the way through his 4.28 ERA. But,
yeah, well, listen, he's definitely not pitching well. I'm not sure why. I'm not a pitching coach.
It's called the jinx of starting the All-Star game.
Listen, I wasn't disagreeing with that point, but I did mention, he deserved to be the starter in that game, and I still stand by that. He had the best numbers in the first half.
Okay, first half Cy Young Award winner.
Yes.
I wonder, Brian, would that count as a world championship? First half world championship?
I think so. First half world champion.
So would that be 16 and a half world championships? Or would it be, does it count as a full world championship?
The full world championship.
All right. Brian, what do you got going on? I know you've been a little bit hotter over the second since the All-Star break. Kind of pick.
Well, we got a 3-0 day in yesterday, but it was overall doggy day. But we had some ups and downs, so hopefully, I like the card today. I think it's strong. Hopefully, the dogs are barking again today.
Big Al, you've been taking it a little light here for the since the All-Star break, kind of treading water. Are you treading water towards football, or are you just not seeing the card in baseball, or just no value there?
To be honest, I decided it was a policy decision this year. I decided to have a lot less baseball games than I normally would have. It's a long season, and I want to reduce my exposure to baseball relative to football, basketball, and hockey. So that was all.
So it's balance, just a balance.
Yeah, when guys join for the year, and you have about 1,500 plays in a season, I didn't want to have 480 baseball plays because it just becomes an outsized thing, and it's just so I decided to, have less games.
Rod is back with us. Rod lives in a place where I think they have more natural disasters over a 2-month period than any place in the face of the earth. It just seems like there's always flood, fire, hailstorm, you name it.
Well,
it seems they got everything. Any F4 tornadoes on the way.
Well, not today, but in the next couple of days, keep your eyes out. There's definitely a chance that the temperature's rising again, and I've seen a couple. There was one 90 minutes south of here and one 90 minutes north of here already this season, and then the amount of hail that we've had, taking out cars, and the video I sent you, like I said, someone driving down the highway in softball size hail comes metering in at your car. Yeah, not good times.
Well,
Summer Alberta weather, it's kind of normal around here.
Well, somehow Rod manages to still not take a pass to get a play in on all the games, despite internet issues and really an acts of God on a really unprecedented level. It's like, I mean, I hear stories about stuff like this, and like half the time you don't believe it, but it's like if you look at where Rod lives and you look at the weather, it's like, oh my God, man, what the hell's going on over there? It's like, it's too hot.
It's because we live like right close to the mountains. All the weather that comes off the mountains. So like if we're hot in the prairies, and
isn't
then
the population of your town like
comes...
43 or something? Don't you live in like only like 43 people live there?
The population is like 980, and I'm going to say 950 are Hutterites, which are Amish, the Amish community. We've got like 4 Amish communities in the area.
And how many of those Amish are chicken?
That's right. How many of those are chickens? There's a chicken factory just over here, so quite a few. And yes, some of them do wear those pants.
Brian's supposed to come through with some Amish answers for us about the chickens and their ability to drive the cars and all that kind of good stuff, how they travel. But his Amish connection couldn't use the electricity to charge her cell phone, so
yeah, she just started a job making donuts at nighttime. And
Amish donuts?
No, I think they're regular donuts. But
what's the difference between the Pennsylvania Dutch and the Amish?
Boy, I don't know.
Isn't there aren't they similar? They're similar things.
Pretty close, yeah.
The Dutch have the pretzel, right?
Well, they have
the Amish have the
Dutch,
chicken.
Festivals and
the
stuff
Amish
like
have
that.
the chicken. Yeah, it's a Ferris wheel that Brian gets to work the crank. Hey, Brian, would you like to work the crank on the Ferris wheel for now? It's like
I'll take a pass on that.
Speaking of Guardians, we've got the Guardians up against the Astros. We got the Orioles against the Pirates, and Aaron Nola is now minus 330 pitcher for the Phillies. Chris, what do you think?
Oh boy, I'm having issues with that Philly line. I think I'll lead towards the under 8 between the Astros and Guardians. I'm just expecting a pitcher's duel between Christian Javier and Tristan McKenzie. I think likely the Astros win that game, but I expect McKenzie to do all he can to keep the Guardians in it. And Christian Javier, their Astros pitcher, I think that just pitches well on the road. So give me the Astros Guardians under 8 in that one to kick off the day.
Ron Romanelli.
Yeah, not my favorite time slot. Really, overall, the Sunday card's not my favorite, but I'm going to lean towards the Orioles on the run line here. Spencer Watkins not my favorite pitcher to back, but I will say still pitching well this year, 3.80 ERA. I do worry about a little bit of regression, doesn't strike out a ton of guys, and has some issues with the walks and homers, but still I think he's a much better option than Bryce Wilson. And Bryce Wilson consistently struggling this year, ERA above 6, gave up 3 homers last time out. He's 0-4 with a 5.35 ERA on the road, so a little bit better numbers on the road, but not by much. And the Orioles are just crushing righties, and there's just a level of excitement right now in Baltimore. I mean, they packed out that stadium in Camden Yards yesterday, 41,000 plus. They're only a game out, I believe, of the final wild card spot. So this is the type of game they're gonna have to win if they want to make a push, and I think they get it done. So I'm gonna lay the 1.5 runs.
Big series coming up for the Orioles this week. So, anyways, Brian.
Well, I agree 100% with Romanelli here. It's not my favorite slot, but if I had to pick one, I'd lay the minus 175 with Baltimore. They've won 5 straight. These are the type of games they got to win if you want to make the playoffs. And Watkins for the Orioles, you think he'd be due for a little regression here, but he's been pitching well. And Bryce Wilson, maybe one of the worst starter in baseball. So I'll take a chance with the Orioles, lay the 175.
That's a pretty big title there. Worst starter in baseball.
I said one of the worst. I didn't see the worst.
Well, Anibal Sanchez is going tomorrow, so he might take that personally. Big Al, what do you got?
I mean, I guess great minds think alike. I'm going to echo what Ron and Brian just said. Not much more to add, but Baltimore this season. Obviously they play in a difficult division. They're 20-24 versus American League East teams. They have those 2 big American League East series coming up this week. Outside of the division, they've been terrific this year, 36-27, but plus 18.0 net games on the money line because their average price is like plus $1.25. So, hey, don't step in front of the freight train. Just take the Orioles.
Rod?
Yeah, I agree. Give me the Orioles. Give me the Orioles on the run line in this one. Spencer Watkins, last 3 starts, been pitching lights out. 2-0, 2.76 ERA. And they've been solid in the Pirates. They've lost 7 straight road games versus the AL East. I think that continues. They make it 8. I think the Orioles in that one.
Well, I hate to sound like a broken record here, but I'm going to jump on the Nationals as well with you guys. I think that Abbott's got a good shot here. He pitched pretty well. The only game that he started this season there, Nola, certainly can't be depended on to do much except for, well, letting people down in big spots as a big favorite, something that he specialized in throughout his career in Philadelphia, and I expect him to do the same today. We saw a ton of runs in that game yesterday. The total in yesterday's game, I think I got 8.5, and I got like even money on it or something. I pressed it up to 11. It was like, how could you not? But the thing is I think that we probably don't see many runs in this game. Corey Abbott pitched down a much tougher lineup last time out. I mean, gave up 2 hits against the Mets through 6 innings? I think he could easily baffle the Phillies here.
What are his minor league numbers like?
Well, he's not pitching a minor league game today. He's pitching against. Well, I guess he is. He's pitching against the Phillies.
You're only going off of 1 game where he pitched 5 innings, right? So
yeah, the last time he pitched.
What's the sample size for this year in the minors?
Well, mine's actually a pure Aaron Nola fade, and I'm just looking for anything to say.
Aaron Nola is one of the better pitchers in baseball.
Well, you had your turn to talk. You didn't say shit about it. How about that?
All right. I'm just saying, you're bashing the Phillies, so I have to step up and defend them a little bit.
I say something during your slot, people rip me a new one. That's all I know.
I'm just sticking up for the Phillies. That's
Bitch is a bully. He's always picking on Brian. Stop picking on Brian.
You had to pull the dust off of that one. That maybe.
Yeah, I haven't used the stop picking on Brian in a long time. Don't worry about it. Anyways. Speaking of back to the well, we got the Tigers against the Rays. The Tigers, I loved them yesterday. Gave them every which way out on this show. Hopefully you guys jumped on board with that first 5 and reverse run line we gave out. We gave out Tigers, money line, everything on this show yesterday. So hopefully you jumped on. I know a lot of people did. I saw it on Twitter. A lot of people tweeting out about their tickets and stuff. But the problem that we have here is the Tigers are 0-7 on the run line following a win, so not promising for the back-to-back here. Then we've got the Royals against the Red Sox, and that one was depressing if you're a Red Sox fan. It's about as bad as it got if you're like the Red Sox, and then because they kind of almost made a game of it, and then only to lose in the 9th inning like that, and then. You got the Blue Jays against the Twins, and I think if they would have played that Blue Jays game, if that game would have been 20 innings yesterday, I don't think the Blue Jays would have scored another run, and I think the Twins would have scored another 20 runs. So I don't know if that carries over here or not, but Kevin Gausman hasn't quite been the guy that they hoped he would be. Ruffalo, tell me about it.
Oh, I think I'm going to go with the over in the Red Sox and Royals game. We came just close to it yesterday, but fell short if you got it at 9.5, and I think we're going to get up and over that number today. I don't really like what I'm seeing from Brad Keller. He's been getting rocked in his last couple of starts, but Cutter Crawford, for me, is still a back-end rotation. I think he's a bit of a filler for this Red Sox rotation until they really sort of get their pieces back and get healthy again, which I don't know if that'll even be at all this season, but I still think this game's going to head towards 10 or 11 runs at the very least. So give me the over between the Red Sox and Royals.
What's back together? What would be back together for the Red Sox?
If you get Chris Sale back and actually healthy, because you invested a lot of stuff in the future. I'm trying to pull up their rotation. I know they have a couple guys on the shelf.
They got nothing.
Don't forget about
James Paxton. They want to get healthy again. He's still dealing with elbow injuries.
Do they really want him to get healthy? I mean, that's debatable.
Yeah.
Do you really want to see Paxton?
Michael Walker's due back soon.
Oh, boy, I can't wait for that. That's, oh boy, Walker's coming back. They better not announce that one too far in advance. They'll have a run on tickets.
So I was saying, you put in guys like Cutter Crawford, Josh Winkowski. I think those are just placeholders until they get the guys that they actually paid something for back, like Sale, like Paxton, like Waka.
But that's this Blue Jays, That's this Blue Jays team. I mean, that's this Red Sox team. This is what they have.
Yeah.
So it's anyways, Ron Romanelli, what's up?
I want to tell Mr. Ruffalo, how dare you put Cutter Crawford in the same category as Josh Winkowski, first of all. But nonetheless, the weather is looking like it's going to be a nice over in Kansas City. Cutter Crawford, though, has been pitching pretty well, I will say. 9.39 Ks per nine. He got 3.86 ERA, 3.48 FIP. So, yeah, and he's been pitching a lot better on the road, too. So I don't think he's that bad of an option. I think even when Paxton or Sale, I don't think Sale's returning anytime soon, but Paxton, I believe, is starting his rehab starts. I think Crawford will stay in that rotation, but Brad Keller on the other side, he has been Dr. Jekyll this season. I mean, you look at he had a very, very sharp start to the year. Then he couldn't be backed. Then he had a nice middle of the season. Now he gave up 8 earned runs in his last start, 13 hits against the White Sox and a 9-2 loss. He's been one of the more inconsistent starters this season, and I just can't back him here when he's given up at least 4 runs in 3 of his last 5 outings. I think the Red Sox bats get to Keller. I think this game goes over, and I like the Red Sox on the money line.
Brian?
Yeah, in this grouping of games here, I think I'm going to take the Brewers and Reds under 7.5. Corbin Burns has had 3 subpar games in a row, but overall, he has fantastic numbers. And Graham Ashcraft gives up singles, but his last 2 starts, he's starting to look like actually all season he's looked like one of the Reds' better young arms. So I think we can easily get the Reds lineup pretty light hitting as far as scoring runs go.
Yeah, it was
scored 7 yesterday.
I know, Tigers, Rays, Royals, Red Sox, Twins, Blue Jays.
Oh, I'm sorry. I messed up.
We didn't get to Graham Kiss My Ashcraft.
Well, all right, then I will pull one out of my butt here and then something unplanned.
No one wants to catch, and now we just caught a visual. You just ruined my day.
I've been back in the Minnesota Twins, but I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays here in this game. I think with Gausman on the mound, who's I don't think he's as good on the road, but Archer's a 4-inning guy, and I think Blue Jays get a little bit of revenge off of yesterday. It's minus 165. I think Toronto gets a W.
Big Al, what do you got?
Oh, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay and, Drew Rasmussen. 1 start earlier this year versus the Tigers. He was brilliant, 5 shutout innings and a 6-1 Tampa win. Yesterday, of course, they got to McClanahan. That surprised me, but that also continues a trend this season for Detroit where they've been terrific versus lefties. They're profitable versus lefties, not so against righties, 29 and 49 this year. Versus righties. But Tampa Bay's been dominant versus righties over the last 3 years, 146 and 90 plus 32 point net games on the money line. So I'm going to take Tampa minus $1.75.
Rod?
I'm going to take the over in that Blue Jays game with Chris Archer going. He hasn't been pitching very good at all. His last 2 starts, he's got a 9 ERA, and we know Gausman can give up the long ball and give up runs as well. So it opened at 8. It's up to 8.5. I think we see a whole pile of runs there in Minnesota today. Give me the over 8.5 between the Jays and the Twins. Both pitchers not good to start, and I think we get runs early and often in that one. Give me the over.
I like the Rays minus 2.5 against the Tigers. I think they just slaughter them in this one. The Tigers, like I said, just do not follow up on the wins, and they just haven't done it. Chris, what are you selling today?
For me today, I got my $15 pick-off play. Going to close out the week with a nice winner. Or if you want to get something a little bit more to go throughout the day, I got my Sunday Smash Major League 3-pack, the $15 pick-off play included in that 3-pack for $40. Or hop on something long-term. Make sure you take advantage of that promo code OG15, all one word, all lowercase, 15% off.
Ron Romanelli.
Yep, I got my $15 MLB best bet. We've hit 4 of those in a row now. having a nice little hot streak in the MLB, and have a couple extra plays for long-term subscribers, so you can check out those packages.
When will the rundown begin for college and NFL season? Are you going to start week 0 college, week 1? You're going to do NFL preseason week at all? Maybe a preseason NFL rundown just to maybe get your preseason for the NFL rundown? I mean, I don't know. That's what I always say in my NFL preseason videos. It's my preseason too.
Yeah. I'm going to stay away from the preseason just because the information's a little wonky. But college, I'm going to start week 0, the first August 27th. That'll be the first video. They've got 7 games on the board, so we'll start there. And then NFL week 1 of the regular season.
That will be September 11th.
Yep. So be on the lookout.
So it should be a couple. You're gonna do them the night before, or are you doing them a couple days in advance?
We'll have to talk about it. I'm thinking either or. We'll have to see which one works the best, but maybe a couple days in advance.
Brian, what do you got?
Oh, got back on track 3-0 yesterday. Another best bet winner. You can get my best bet over at pickdogs.com. Just $15 titanium play, or pick up my 3-pack, my gone streak and 3-pack, $50 guaranteed profit.
Big out.
Got one play today, looking to bounce back off yesterday's loss on the Blue Jays. I'm 19-8, my last 27. I've got a run line play today in baseball. It's out of an 82% situation. Really nice setup.
Rod.
And for me, I only got 4 plays I absolutely love today. One you can get by itself, my 10-star MLB Game of the Week. Absolutely love that one. Soup that up at Pick Dogs Premium. Or I've got my Sunday Safe Crackers, where I got 3 more MLB plays that I absolutely love. The MLB Game of the Week is not included in the Safe Cracker pack.
I got my big play coming off another winner yesterday in the big play. My baseball's been terrible, but my big plays have been a lot of winners. So, as they always say, if you're going to win, make it that one. And I have been fortunate with it. Had an easy winner last night with the Dodgers. Rare Dodgers pick for my big play. That's how much I believe in the Padres this year. It's really more of a fate of the Padres. But I have a bunch of other plays too. I haven't packaged them, but I might not. If not, long-term subscribers. My long-term subscriptions it's way cheaper to buy that than a daily package anyway. So check those out. Let's get to our next set of games. We got the Reds and the Brewers, man. Lousy call at third base on Christian Yelich, and the Brewers never really recovered from that. It was one of the worst calls we've seen all season. I've seen some miserable calls this year, and most of those have gone against the Milwaukee Brewers. But this one, I don't even understand how he's possibly out on that play. They never touched him with the ball. It's like it wasn't a force, and they never touched him with the ball at all. Whether it was on the bag, off the bag, nothing. They never touched him with the ball. Yet he's out. I don't know. And then we've got the Cardinals taking on the Yankees. The Yankees in pure regression mode, but they got lucky that the Astros lost. So still maintain that half-game lead over the Astros in the overall best record race. And we've got the Cubs taking on the Marlins. And, Pablo Lopez figured it out yesterday. Did not tip his pitches, as we talked about on the show. But at the same time, the Marlins can't hit their way out of a paper bag. They got some serious issues there. But anyways, if only you got runs, if only you could score with pitching, somehow the Marlins would be in good shape. Ruffalo, what do you think?
You'd be in great shape. That's kind of why I'm going with the under 9 in that one. I don't know how we get over 9 after last couple of days from the Miami Marlins in terms of hitting at the plate, and I just don't trust this Cubs offense, even though they have been showing up in the first couple games of the series. I think this is just one of those games that stays closer to maybe 6 or 7 runs if we even get that high. So give me the under 9 between the Marlins and Cubs.
All right. Romanelli.
Yeah, the last 2 days, really for the last month or so, the Marlins offense has just really been tough to watch. But the last 2 days in particular, they did face lefty starters, and we know the Marlins really struggle against lefties. They haven't been great against righties or lefties, but the entire season, left-handed pitching has been the biggest the weakness for this team. But facing a righty here, I do like the Marlins and the plus money. I also do like Jesus Luzardo. He's got 3.97 ERA, really good strikeout numbers, 12.18 Ks per nine. Now, he's only had 34 innings this year as he pitched at the beginning of the year, got hurt, and now he's making his return. But I do like him in this spot. And I think the Marlins can find 2-3 runs, and that might be enough for him. So I lean towards the under, and I like the Marlins on the plus money line.
Brian.
For me, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Cardinals winners of 6 straight. Yankees losers of 4 straight. You got Adam Wainwright, veteran on the mound, 14 1/3 innings. It looks really solid over his last 2 starts. Cardinals, this is the time of year where they're a money printing machine. I like St. Louis today again, not tonight.
Big out.
Brian took my line from yesterday, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but I'm actually going to try to fix it today. Yankees now 0-8. Their last 8 on the road versus winning teams. I think it ends today off that game where they just got 2 hits. They got shut out. Yankees 111-57 off a shutout loss. That's long term, plus 35 net games. St. Louis dreadful this year off back-to-back wins, 10-19. Frankie Montas, yes, he's 4-9 this season. That, of course, was with the worst team in baseball. Now he's on, obviously, a great team. And, I just look more to his stats, 3.18 ERA, 1.14 whip, I think. And I'm going to take New York and look for them to break their 0-8 streak.
More likely to coach their team into an outright collapse, Boone or Showalter. I mean, you got 2 winners there, so it's this is a very tough decision. I mean, 2 of the worst managers of 2 very good teams. So we could see a double. We could see a double dip there. Subway collapse. Rod.
For me, I like the Cardinals here. I think the Yankees on the road against the good teams keep on slumping. Let's make it 9 straight that they lose on the road versus the good teams. And the Cardinals get here. I like St. Louis over the Yankees in that one. They're just playing better ball. These bats aren't hitting. They're just not looking good. Give me the Cardinals in that one.
I just not loving this slot here. I guess you got to go with Graham Kiss My Ashcraft here against Ben Burns. I just think that, minus 320 right in Burns' wheelhouse, but I think I'm going to just stick with Graham Kiss My Ashcraft. I just don't think Ben Burns has been so good ever since he made the move over to Wager Turd. Anyways, we go to our next set of games. We got the Rangers versus the White Sox, the A's versus the Giants, and the Mariners versus Angels. Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the San Francisco Giants on the run line here. I think if they can't get a win with Logan Webb on the mound, they're going to be in deep, deep trouble. He's been their best arm for much of the season, and I just think that, I don't know, I just don't want to take a chance with Adrian Martinez. I think this is just a spot where the Giants logically make sense for me, so I'm going to lay the minus 1.5 with them with Logan Webb on the mound in this one.
Ron?
Yeah, I think the Mariners will grab a win here today against the Angels. Tucker Davidson probably going to go about 3 to 5 innings at the most. He's a starting pitcher sometimes, but doesn't really pitch too deep into ball games anymore. And he struggled in 2022. The walks are really piling up for him. And the Mariners have hit lefties very well this season. They didn't get to Patrick Sandoval, but I think this matchup's even more beneficial. So I like the Mariners here. And then you look on the other side with Marco Gonzalez, not my favorite option in the back, but the Angels have just struggled so much against lefties this year, and they're 29th in the last 30 days in team OPS against lefties, 557 team OPS. So I can't back the Angels in this spot, even though they've been a little bit competitive as of late. I think the Mariners grab this one.
Brian, passing on that minus 320 in the last rotation of games, I know was tough for you. What do you like here?
It's always tough for me to pass on those high juicers, but here, as far as free picks, I've been giving out mid-level juicers. I'm going to agree with Romanelli here and take the Seattle Mariners minus 150. We saw the Angels put up 7 yesterday, but they're not a real potent offense. And Gonzalez, this guy normally goes 6 or 7, gives up 3 or 4 runs. But I think the Mariners have enough offense here to take care of the Angels.
Big out.
So I missed the third game. What was the other game in
Mariners,
this time slot?
Mariners, Angels, is Mariners, Angels, White Sox, Rangers, and A's, Giants.
Oh, let's go with the White Sox against Texas. I've tried to avoid playing the White Sox the entire season, but I'll make an exception here. White Sox 11-4 off a shutout loss. Texas 2-5 this season off a shutout win. I guess I'll just hold my nose and take Giolito in this situation.
Definitely a tough one, the way the White Sox have been playing. Rod?
Now, for me, I'm going to take the Angels here. They've been beaten up on Seattle in the first two games of this series, and I don't trust Marcus Gonzalez. He can definitely give up runs and bunches, and can kind of happen in a hurry. And Tucker Davidson on the road he's had one road, went 5 innings, and looked real good doing it too. So I think he comes in and does another good job, and you get 4 or 5 innings out of him. And the Angels steal another win. As Seattle, 9 straight, they have failed to cover the run line at home as a home favorite. Nah, give me the Angels here. I think they sweep Seattle today.
I like it's generally the under in those games that Seattle Angels is usually the under city, but I think Tucker Davidson is an over. I mean, he just really likes to serve him up. He can ignite an offense like no one's business. This guy's 6.46 ERA. Nothing pretty about it. I like the over. Go to the last set of games. We've got I know one is the Mets and the Braves. Lost my place. Mets and Braves, I know, is one of them. We've got the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. Been a crazy series in that one. And then the Dodgers and the Padres going at it for Sunday night baseball action. I got to say that this Padres-Dodgers series has been one of the biggest non-events in quite some time since Geraldo opened up the locker. I mean, this is really, really just a beat down. It just seems that last night was probably had to be one of the more embarrassing games in the history of the San Diego Padres, where they basically were given chances. The Dodgers sleptwalked through the first half of that game. They had Heaney on the ropes. They put up 3 runs, took the lead, down 2-0, took 3. Then they had a chance to get Mookie Betts on a foul ball, and they dropped it. And, well, pretty much the floodgates open after that. You got to take your chances to get Mookie out. And even I'm on the Dodgers these days. The Padres are just the big fade after the trade. But with Tatis coming back, they'll have a chance to bust up that chemistry again, make it even worse than it is. Ruffalo, what do you think of these 3? And commentary on the Padres, is it just busted up team chemistry, or they're just not that good to compete with the Dodgers? What do you think?
I think, well, for the Padres, Dodgers, I think it's just the Dodgers flexing the been there, done that mentality. It doesn't phase them. The Padres are the team with something to prove, I think, here. That always the talk has been about the Dodgers, and I think the Padres got to prove that you can make the moves all you want, but at the end of the day, you still have to be able to execute, and they haven't done that so far in this series. So we'll have to see if they could do that tonight. But for my pick in this time, so I'm going to go with the over 9 between the Rockies and Diamondbacks. I think Jose Urena is starting to show signs of the Urena that we saw when he struggled in his tenure with the Marlins. He allowed 16 runs, 12 earned in his last 2 starts. And Zach Davies, he's I don't know if it was a sign of rust when he came back from the injury list. He allowed 4 runs in 2 innings. I think we're going to get to the over here. If the starters don't get us there, I think the bullpen surely will. So give me the over 9 between the Rockies and Diamondbacks.
Urena's certainly trying to work himself into that Bittler rotation. Ron, what do you got?
It was never my routine.
but he can get there. He can get there.
Don't sell him short.
Yeah, don't sell him short.
Him
I mean, he could easily get there.
Yeah, I agree with Ruffalo. I basically all the points he made. Urania's starting to regress. I wasn't impressed with Zach Davies' first start back from the IL. He wasn't able to he only got through 2 innings against the Guardians, giving up a couple homers. And like Chris mentioned, bad bullpens. Both of these teams, bad bullpens. We've seen blowing leads late in both of the first 2 games of this series. Even though yesterday's game was a little bit more low scoring, I think we see runs early, often, and late. Give me the over on that one.
Brian.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, take the same play that the previous two guys have taken. So I'm going to take maybe an oppositional play here and go with the Atlanta Braves on the money line. Spencer Strider, a little bit worse of an ERA on the road, but still 2.90. The Braves, if they lose this one, it'll be 4 or 5 to the Mets team that they need to catch. DeGrom doesn't get the run support that he deserves. I don't see him going more than 5 innings today. I think the Braves get a W.
So you think that that Strider's going to get the run support that he deserves? Because the Braves have hit nothing. I mean, except Taijuan Walker. Unless Taijuan Walker's pitching. I mean, that's because I'll tell you what, Peterson looked like Randy Johnson out there yesterday. You know, against
Braves
them.
have to have.
I mean, a dominating performance.
But I agree with the Rockies. Diamondbacks over. I think that's a nice one. But to put something different out there, I like the Atlanta Braves today.
Okay. Al?
Well, Atlanta, they're 16-20 in day games. On the other hand, they're 12-0 off back-to-back losses this season. So I'm going to stay away from the side in this. I'm going to instead look at the total. Yesterday, I put out here for free the over in that second game. I thought it was going to be a surprisingly high-scoring game, and it would finish 6-2. That was the lowest scoring game of the first 4 of this series so far, but it still went over the total of 7. In fact, all 4 games so far in this series have gone over. I like this game under. 8 out of the 13 starts this season by Strider and DeGrom have gone under the total. And I just think finally the offenses take a holiday in this series, and it's going to be a low-scoring game.
I think Spencer Strider's a good pitcher. This guy's good, and I think if the Braves would have had Soroka this year, they probably would have been a little bit of a different story. Romanelli, what's the deal with Soroka?
I believe his timetable is still, he's expecting to come back this year, but it's been pushed back. In the beginning, I thought it was going to be in the middle of July, but he's still not back, obviously. So
because he's the guy, right?
Back,
I mean, he's the guy. He's the number one.
They have a bunch of the guys because they always at one point it was Ian Anderson, then it was Max Fried. Now
it was like Soroka was always the guy. He was always kind of.
Fried and him were both up there, but
right.
I mean, he's a great pitcher. I mean,
but Anderson was never in the same sentence as Soroka.
Well, I mean, there was some highly touted conversations about Anderson too, his rookie year. So obviously he's not holding up to that. But I don't know. I mean, Soroka, if they can get him back, it's still a very good lineup in the rotation. And my worry is Ian Anderson's not as good as what he was. Max Fried's starting to struggle now, so it's good that they found Strider, but they really could use Soroka. And Jake Odorizzi's not the answer, as we saw.
No, I think Soroka is more like a George Kirby, and Ian Anderson is more like
Ian Anderson.
Anibal Sanchez. Rod. Oh, you're up.
Right, if they get Soroka back, I think he's due to come back. So I think he makes it back before the end of the season. For sure, be a huge piece for the Braves. For me, I'm going to take the under in the Padres and Dodgers here. I think Darvish, he's only given up more than 3 runs once in his last 10 starts. So he's been pitching pretty solid, and we know Ian Anderson. He can hold him down too. So I think we got pitchers still on our hand in primetime baseball, and now one in the in game 3 of a series. So I think we got a lower scoring one in our hands in that one. I like the under Padres Dodgers on Sunday Night Baseball.
I'm going to lay 2.5 runs here with the Dodgers. They're just beating the crap out of the Padres this series, just absolutely embarrassing them. And like I said, they've only played half a game in each of the games that they've played so far. They're kind of just going through the motions early, and the Padres have no answer for the top of that Dodgers batting order. It's like Mookie Betts, it's like they got no answers. It's like Mookie gets on, he scores. It's like they cannot stop him. Trey Turner, they got so lucky that Trey Turner hit like one. It came inches from going out of the park, or else it would have even been uglier than it was. That Max Muncy, tape measure shot is like, it's 3-2, and it's like you got Turner and bets on base. It's like, it's gonna be crappy, right? It's gonna nothing good's gonna happen defensively when you got that going on. So instead, they just lob one into Muncy, and I mean, what? He's not gonna turn on that thing. It's like they and Melvin comes walking out of the dugout like he's disappointed that a meatball got hit 785 feet. Just doesn't even make sense. Taking the Dodgers and laying 2.5. I think you could lay whatever they'll let you lay 4.5 in this thing. I think the Padres are done. Can't stand that Juan Soto either.
Why not?
Because I think he's a yahoo. I think he's exactly kind of like he's the Ezekiel Elliott of Major League Baseball. The other night, down 6-0, he hits a single and acts like he's won the World Series. It's like, what a jerk. It's like, how about you're getting your ass kicked? How about humbly, staying focused in the game? How about it? Because you're batting like 225 and you want like $700 million and you're getting slaughtered in the biggest series of the year for your team. And all you can think about is your glorious single that you hit, which you ended up getting doubled up in the next pitch.
Oh, some of us would love to get the
I guess there's some tension with you and Juan Soto.
It's not tension. It's just I don't understand it. I just think that if you want to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. And it's like
he's walking the walk. I mean,
you think getting a single, you think losing 8-3 and 8-1 against the team that you were acquired to help beat. That's walking the walk. It's called getting your ass kicked.
He can't beat the Dodgers by himself.
But that's not the time to celebrate.
No, I agree.
It's like Ezekiel Elliott celebrating the first down, and losing to the Jets in the Meadowlands like he did. Right? Remember him dancing with the first down? You're losing to the Jets in the Meadowlands as 14-point favorites on the road. It's like, yuck. A big yuck. And that's why this team is going nowhere. Because a good team will beat a bunch of good individual players any day of the week in any team sport. Which, if he was a tennis player, then that would be a different story, or a golfer. Then he could, Tiger. Tiger is like, he doesn't do this every putt, right? He doesn't walk it down with the putter in the air on every single putt. He does it on 16 at Augusta when he's holed out, for eagle. That's when he raises the putter. It's like that's how the great ones are. That's Jack Nicklaus when he hit the birdie, in his last Masters champion. That's when he did the arms up, not when he, parred number 4. Par and 4.
Number 4 to get back to +5.
It's like, seriously. Seriously, man. It's like, who do you think you are? You were on the worst team in baseball. You helped them to the worst record, right? And now you're helping this team lose to the team that they need to beat the most. Anyways, we could do a whole show on this.
Bad celebration moment.
It is a bad celebration moment. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, jerk.
What's it for?
Jerk, man. How about hitting a grand slam to take the lead or something? Then you could do that.
Or losing 13-0, and you're getting.
Rufalo, who you parlaying up your Soto homer prop with?
The Soto prop with the dance with. No, I'm kidding. I'll do the Marlins Cubs under 9. I'll go with the San Francisco Giants on the run line, and I'll go with the Chicago White Sox on the money line.
Ron Romanelli, who you parlaying your Soto home run prop with?
I'm parlaying my Soto MVP prop with Alex Cobb to win the Cy Young, but give me the over in the Rockies Diamondbacks game. Give me the Boston Red Sox on the money line, and give me the Baltimore Orioles on the run line.
Has there ever been anyone that's won the MVP that's been traded mid-season?
Probably.
I don't think so.
Well, he won't win the MVP this year, but I don't think so either.
He's the next Chris Davis. Brian.
No, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
He's not the next
Please.
Chris Davis. Juan Soto is one of the most
Oh
talented
man.
baseball
Every
players.
player
They said
you
that
hate,
about
I love.
Davis. They said that
My
about
problem with
Davis.
Soto is his defensive
No.
abilities. a
They
little
said
lacking.
it about Davis.
No.
Davis-
What, you think they just gave him that contract for the hell of it?
Yeah, but
He's a
Soto
big
doesn't
stick.
strike out much.
Anyway, my
Yeah.
parlay today is St. Louis Cardinals on the money line and Atlanta Braves 2-game parlay.
Big Al, Soto prop.
I'm gonna just to get a better return. I'll take Tampa Bay parlayed with the under 7 runs in the Atlanta game.
Rod.
And for me, we're going to take the Cardinals, the Angels, and the Rays. Parlay all three of those up.
Dodgers -2.5. Tigers -2.5. Or Rays -2.5 against Tigers. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day. And next week we go back to the old format. Still gonna be ragging on Soto. I really don't care. He's my new whipping boy. Imagine if him and Ezekiel Elliott play in the same day. Imagine when that happens.
Oh, no.
I mean, is there any more ridiculous than Ezekiel Elliott celebrating a first down? It's like
You could. You imagine you get the Padres on Sunday Night Baseball, and then you get the Cowboys on Sunday Night Baseball. You get Soto and Elliott. In
I could do the
prime time.
halftime and have the split screen for my halftime show. I guess I'm flying solo at halftime this year. We'll have to see how that goes. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. Like I said, next week, new format or same old. We'll go back to the old format.